In this math video, we're going to be learning about ratios. Ratios are the relationship between two different quantities, and they show how much bigger or smaller one quantity is when compared with another. So an example here is I've got my three rectangles, and so I'd write it like that. I've got three rectangles. Ratios are always separated by these two dots here, like a column. I've got my three rectangles there, and then I've got my two circles here. So it is a 3:2 ratio. So it's in a way very similar to fractions. The difference is that if I said this, 2 out of 3, that means that the total of the things that I have are 3, and I only have 2 of them. So that's my total amount. It's not two quantities, it's a part of a quantity. So with a ratio, these two things together are the total. Okay, so if there's a 3:2 ratio like this one, the total amount is 5, because I've got 5 different shapes here. That doesn't work with fractions. The total amount is 3, the denominator only. It will come in a bit more handy later on with some other more difficult ratio questions. Okay, so we're going to look at this question here. So I've got a table here. The ratio for this question is 8:3. So for every 8 circles, there are 3 squares. So if I then double my 8, then I have to double my 3. And then, as you can see, it's kind of going up in a multiplicative pattern here. So 8, 16, 24, 32, 40, 48. And it gets to this 36. So I'll just continue in my multiplication pattern here as well. So 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18. So to find the 36, I'm going to have another go at my ratio here. I'm going to do it vertically to help me out with the angles. So 8:3, 16:6, 24:9, 32:12, and now I've got 36 to something. So first of all, I need to figure out how much this is going up by, because it's been very simple so far. We just know that it's doubling every time, or multiplying the previous number by 2. So 8 times 2 is 16, and then plus another 8, sorry, not times 2. 8 times 2 is 16, and then 16 times plus another 8 is 24, and then plus another 8 is 32, and then we get to here. So plussing on here, what we've actually done is we've gone, well, it's plus 4, or plus half of that 8. Okay, so I'm going to do the same thing. So plus half of the 3, which is 1 and a half, which is half of the original number, which is exactly the same thing they did over here. So my answer then is 13.5. Okay, alrighty. So now we're going to look at this worded problem. So there were 100 children in total. Lots more girls than boys. How many girls were there if the ratio of girls to boys was 7:3? So first of all, you might be thinking, well, there's lots more girls than boys. So this one, the 7, has to be girls. And and the 3 has to be boys. Okay, so some of you might at this point be thinking, oh my gosh, how am I going to do this? I'm going to have to multiply my 7s all the way up to one particular number, and then I have to figure out and multiply my 3s up to, you know, numbers into the 60s or whatever, and then try and get it to 100 to match perfectly, and that's going to be really difficult. But remember what I said earlier of this is actually the total. It's not like a fraction is, like I was talking about up here. So 7 plus 3 is 10. So knowing that, 10 times 10 equals 100. And so now I figured out that if I multiply 7 times 10, it's going to equal 70. And then 3 times 10, it's going to equal 30, which together, they both equal 100, my total. So now I have to reread my question and see what it's actually asking me to answer. So 100 children, lots more girls than boys. How many girls were there? Okay, so the girls, we know there are more girls. So the amount of girls, there are 70 girls. And if you really wanted to be very clear, you could say there are 70 girls in comparison to 30 boys. Okay, good luck with your questions. I hope that helped you. Remember to always show you're working out. Bye.